So if businesses pay living wage and complement that with operational excellence, and what I mean by that is a set of choices that reduces their costs, increases their labor productivity, and really put their employees at the center of their success, then the outcome is more productive employees, better customer service, and fewer errors, better quality, and overall better performance for businesses. But it's not just higher wages. So my argument is higher wages complemented with operational excellence is what produces great outcomes for customers, employees, and investors at the same time. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. A good job strategy. So I talk about a good job strategy in my book. A good job strategy is a great strategy for shareholders in the long term. In fact, one of the companies that I've studied 4 different companies, and only one of them is a public company. The other 3 are private companies. But I do have a lot of data about the private companies' performance, and they've done great for their own shareholders. But the only public company in my book is Costco. Their largest competitor is Sam's Club, but they're owned by Walmart, so I can't really compare Costco with Sam's Club. But if I compare Costco with Walmart over a long time horizon, let's say 10 years, any period you take, Costco has done much better for their shareholders than Walmart has. Yes, absolutely. Currently, unfortunately, the dominant view in business is to see employees just as a cost. And therefore, if I want to run a profitable, low-cost operation, I need to minimize that cost. We need to shift that from seeing employees as a cost to seeing employees as a strategic asset and figure out how can we best leverage that asset? How can we get a great return on our investment in people and make choices consistent with that? I see a lot of parallels. First of all, poverty in a developed country is striking. The number of low-wage jobs is striking. People with unpredictable schedules is striking. It shouldn't be that way, especially given that there's a much better alternative that works for companies, that works for employees, and that works for investors. Yeah, this idea, I'm not the first person to talk about how investing in people can be good for business if it's complemented with operational excellence. But research alone or showing best practices alone is not enough to move companies because there are several very important barriers to implementing a good job strategy. The first one is, and you would appreciate this as an investor, is the time horizon that people often think about. There's a lot of short-term thinking, especially in public companies. The second one is that a good job strategy is not very easy. There are lots of things that need to be done. Operational excellence is always harder to achieve than mediocrity. So it's not a very easy strategy, but it is doable and it is very sustainable. And the third thing is that whenever you make large-scale changes, things often get worse before they get better. And if you have investors who have very short-term focus, then they might not be patient with your performance in the short term, which will get worse most likely. And then finally, you can still make money following the bad job strategy. You can make money by offering bad jobs. You can make money even offering horrible customer service. People will shop at your stores as long as your prices are low enough, and people will work for you as long as there aren't enough good jobs. So these all combined together make it hard for companies to shift on their own. And that's why I think it is so important for us to influence investors so they can be advocates for a good job strategy. In fact, in the next phase of my career, that's what I want to do. I've been getting in front of the investor audience and presenting my work even to sell-side analysts and telling them, focusing on the awareness and education piece. Say, look, when companies offer bad jobs, here are the business outcomes. Here are all the operational problems. Here are the impact of those problems on sales and performance. Here's the vicious cycle that companies operate under. It doesn't have to be this way. Here, look at a good job strategy company. Not only do they beat their competitors now over a wide range of metrics, but they're able to make strategic changes much easier than their competitors because they have the ability to execute. So I think we need to do a much better job communicating this message to investors and highlighting how, their role in this whole process. And another thing is, I think we need to focus on offering them tools that they can use to identify companies that follow a good job strategy. Because it's not as simple as just paying more. It's a bunch of other things that matter. So one of my next projects is to actually create a good job score that, in effect, the ingredients are, the ingredients of excellence for operations.